Dino.
Huh?
The narrative starts with a young girl named Vera on a swing. She hears a noise in the background and decides to check it out, only to discover a cat feeding on its kitten. She quickly calls for her mother. Shortly after, her mother arrives and witnesses the shocking scene, though her face is obscured by the sunlight. Vera asks her mother why the cat is consuming its own kitten. Her mother softly strokes her head and walks toward the cat, picking up a stone and violently killing it, which frightens Vera even more. Years pass, and Vera is now a teenager who spends most of her time with her brother Dino, who is passionate about creating horror vlogs. This marks the last time Dino and Vera will see their home, as they are relocating with their mother and Uncle Jamal. Although they are reluctant to leave, they cannot oppose their mother's wishes. They move to a house that is located in the middle of nowhere, greeted by their Uncle Jamal. Once they arrive, Dino begins to create another horror vlog, but he overacts, which Vera finds displeasing. Jamal gives them a tour of the new house. Vera notices a white cat on the porch, but it quickly disappears, leaving her puzzled. Jamal inquires about how Vera's mother is doing. Vera explains that her mother has been behaving oddly lately, drinking a lot of milk and even chopping up live chickens for their meals. Yanti decorates a room to turn it into her salon, feeling overjoyed about realizing a long-held dream. While seated, Vera sees a pair of scissors on the counter, sparking a memory of her mother cutting her long hair after her husband left 2 years prior. Jamal, Yanti's brother, is struggling with significant debt due to his online gambling addiction. Yanti expresses gratitude to her children for supporting her during her difficult times, vowing to become self-sufficient from now on. Vera reassures her, saying she will always be by her side no matter what. Yanti suddenly drinks up a whole glass of milk while Vera, Dino, and Jamal look on in astonishment. Later, they begin to converse without noticing that something is not quite right with Yanti. That evening, Vera informs her brother that their mother had always dreamed of moving here, yet it appears that no one wants to settle in this god-forsaken area because all the houses are deserted. On top of that, their mother wants to open a salon here. Dino shrugs it off and starts another horror blog featuring an abandoned house. He tells his viewers that he senses the spirit of a young boy within the building. Afterwards, the siblings gather under a tree, and Dino starts to exaggerate, claiming he can feel a spirit lurking in the tree behind him. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a white cat drops onto him, causing a severe injury to his arm. Inside, Vera tends to the wound and teasingly calls him a coward. Just then, Yanti arrives, and Dino mentions that a cat scratched him. To their surprise, Yanti strangely starts licking the wound, shocking her children. However, she quickly snaps back to reality and scolds Vera for not looking after her brother properly. Vera apologizes and heads upstairs with Dino. When Dino takes a long time in the bathroom, Vera goes to check on him. Meanwhile, downstairs, Yanti continues to lick Dino's wounds. Vera slowly descends the stairs and discovers Dino asleep on the couch, the bandage removed. She fixes it and catches a glimpse of something in the mirror, but when she turns around, the entity vanishes. Terrified, she rushes upstairs, unaware that her mother is lurking in the shadows. The next day, Dino and Vera hand out flyers for their mother's salon, but no one shows any interest. In response, Yanti takes the initiative to distribute the flyers herself. Men by the roadside are captivated by her beauty. After returning home, Yanti and Vera wait for customers to arrive. Shortly after, a woman shows up for a haircut, followed quickly by 2 new clients. Vera is clearly puzzled by the sudden influx of customers, arriving one after the other. After a couple of hours, Dino comes home, and Vera questions him about where he had been. He explains that he was around the neighborhood and made some new friends. While cleaning the salon, Vera stumbles upon a sanitary pad of her mother resting on the counter. She goes into her mother's room and hears her humming in the bathroom. However, she ignores it and asks if she forgot her sanitary pad downstairs. Yanti responds in the affirmative and tells Vera to put it on the bed and leave. The following day, a large number of customers arrive at the salon, leaving Vera more puzzled. However, she brushes it aside and helps her mother with the work. Outside, she curiously asks her brother if he doesn't find it weird that people are coming to their salon in large numbers when there is no sign of humanity around. Dino quickly shuts her down, saying that she was initially worried nobody would come, but now that business is good, she is doubting. Later that night, the siblings visit an abandoned building to make a horror vlog. They venture inside and start exploring it. Vera takes out her phone and starts recording a video. At that moment, she notices something in the bushes, yet the figure disappears instantly. Meanwhile, Dino sees a figure in a room and hastily escapes in fear. Soon after, the same figure terrifies Vera, prompting her to run away. It turns out to be Yanti, who had scared her children. Oddly, she calls them to come home for dinner, while Dino and Vera remain thoroughly frightened. At the dinner table, Yanti appears lost, staring at a white stray cat outside. She compliments Dino, calling him handsome and giving him food. Vera suddenly hears a cat screaming from within the house. She rushes downstairs, tracing the sound to the kitchen, only to be horrified by the sight of a dark figure resembling Yanti viciously ripping open the white cat. Filled with terror, Vera bolts away and bumps into her mother. Vera is in utter disbelief. She tells Yanti about a terrifying being in the kitchen. Yanti investigates but finds no one. Vera has a conversation with her uncle, revealing that her mother has changed significantly since they moved. She inquires about when he last took her to the psychiatrist. Jamal admits it's been some time, but the doctor mentioned she was fine. Due to several power outages at night, Dino struggles to sleep and exits his room, while Vera remains unconcerned. Without his glasses, Dino steps onto the balcony and sees a figure that looks like his mother standing under a flickering streetlight. Just then, his actual mother appears, startling him. She questions him about being outside so late, and Dino explains, "There was a power outage, so I came out to get some fresh air." Feeling anxious, he retreats to his room as his mother watches him with an unsettling smile. The next day, Yanti takes her kids to an optician, while the local men cast strange looks at her, which Vera finds off-putting. They enter the store, but the owner, Hiro, begins to flirt with Yanti. Vera interrupts, suggesting Hiro should get glasses instead of Dino. Despite this, Yanti is captivated by his charm. Vera warns her that she knows Hiro's intentions. Yanti remarks that Hiro at least isn't like her father, who abandoned them years ago. The scene flashes back to 2 years earlier when Yanti's husband left her, despite her pleas for him to stay. Before leaving, Dino's father had given him a pair of glasses. Yanti prepares for a date with Hiro, wearing a red dress. Vera asks if she genuinely likes the optician. Just then, Hiro arrives, and Yanti greets him, impressing him with her looks. He presents her with flowers and takes her out. While cleaning a mirror in the salon, Vera is startled by a demonic presence. At that moment, Yanti returns home drunk after spending the night with Hiro. Vera questions her about her whereabouts, but Yanti ignores her and heads away. Later, she flirts with the men who visit the salon with their wives. Soon, the salon sees more men than women, and Yanti seduces each one. Meanwhile, Vera keeps a close watch on her mother's unusual behavior. That evening, Vera asks Yanti about Hiro, but Yanti reveals they have split, leaving Vera confused. Later, Vera confides in Dino that she's been experiencing strange occurrences at home and believes they might be connected to their mother. However, Dino dismisses her concerns and continues to sleep. Vera then hears whispers coming from downstairs. She cautiously makes her way down the stairs, only to be horrified when she sees her mother talking to a dark figure in the mirror. The demonic presence notices her, frightening Vera into rushing back to her room to pretend nothing happened and fall asleep. Yanti enters her room and asks Vera if she had come out. Vera responds, "No." Yanti then begins to touch her in an uncomfortable manner. After that, Yanti inquires about how Dino ended up breaking his glasses. Dino explains that while he was playing soccer with his new friends, his glasses fell off and one of them inadvertently stepped on them. Nevertheless, he reassures her that his old glasses will suffice. Taking it to extremes, Yanti questions why he felt the need to purchase new ones at all. Dino, overwhelmed with fury, responds with a disrespectful remark about her mother. Yanti sits beside him and pulls his hair, telling him he resembles her, yet his expression reminds her of her ungrateful husband, which frightens Dino. Vera attempts to step in, but Yanti halts him. She forces Dino to drink a glass of milk, expressing her frustration with him. Scared, Dino and Vera hurry upstairs. Later that night, Vera visits her uncle Jamal and expresses her concerns about her mother's unusual behavior. Unfortunately, Yanti is already present, shocking Vera. Yanti admits she was under stress and took it out on her and Dino, asking for forgiveness and hugging Vera tightly. She even promises to see a psychiatrist for both her and Dino's sake. In the next scene, Vera tells Dino she doubts a doctor can help their mother. Confused, Dino asks her what she means, prompting Vera to recount her ghost encounter from the previous night, which makes Dino laugh. She insists she is serious and recalls what their mother did to him, calling him forgetful and accusing him of neglecting her feelings, focusing only on his friends, vlogs, and books. Dino erupts in frustration, declaring he doesn't enjoy making vlogs. It's merely an excuse to spend time with her, and he claims he has no friends. Overcome with emotion, he shares that he has been alone since moving there. Yanti comes home with Jamal after visiting the psychiatrist, informing her children that she is on medication as Dino and Vera listen quietly. Vera asks Jamal about what the doctor said concerning their mother, and he reassures her that everything is fine before leaving. Yet Vera still suspects something is wrong with her mother and starts watching her closely. She enters Yanti's room and is horrified to find her in the bathroom bathing with chicken blood. In the next scene, she and Dino arrive at the hospital where their mother is receiving treatment. They are stunned when the doctor reveals it has been a year since they last saw her. Enraged, Vera storms to Jamal's house to confront him, demanding to know where he has been taking their mother. Left with no choice, Jamal reveals the truth. When their father left, Yanti was devastated, so he took her to a shaman. He also attempted traditional medical help, but it proved ineffective. However, after connecting with the shaman, Yanti experienced miraculous changes in her health. Jamal urges the siblings to be grateful to God for their mother when he himself has no one to call family. After uncovering the truth, Dino and Vera return home with Jamal, only to find their mother sitting in the dark. Vera quietly turns on the light, waking Yanti, who surprisingly knows that Jamal divulged her secret. Yanti admits that she sought the shaman's help out of desperation. Yanti explains that a shaman once helped her regain control over herself. However, she must perform a ritual regularly. Whenever she fails, she grows weak and transforms into something else. She reveals that the being Vera and Dino have been seeing isn't really her, it's a jinn possessing her body. Desperate, Yanti begs Vera and Dino to help free her from its control. Jamal takes Yanti to a respected shaman named Medea, who lives nearby. Vera explains that her mother is possessed by a jinn and asks Medea to perform a ritual. Medea reveals that when Yanti first came to her, she was torn between two identities, a woman and a mother. To separate those conflicting personalities, Medea implanted a mystical object inside her body. But to keep the seal intact, Yanti had to regularly sacrifice a chicken and offer its blood. Yanti admits that she accidentally used Dino's blood instead of a chicken's. That mistake corrupted the seal. Medea warns that the implant must be removed immediately before the jinn consumes the blood of all Yanti's children. She takes Yanti into a ritual room and firmly warns Vera, Dino, and Jamal not to interrupt the ceremony under any circumstances. Inside, Medea restrains Yanti and begins the ritual. She reaches into Yanti's womb to remove the cursed implant, causing the jinn to scream in agony. A short while later, Yanti walks out looking completely normal. She gently caresses Vera's head, reassuring her that everything is finally over. Back home, Yanti thanks her children and Jamal for standing by her. She promises to become the mother they always deserved. Afterward, she leaves the room. Jamal suggests that they should return to thank Medea for saving Yanti's life. Back at Medea's house, Medea is sitting dead with her body ripped open. Suddenly the lights go out. The jinn silently appears before her. In the next scene, Vera notices that Jamal has mysteriously disappeared. She asks her mother where he went. Yanti calmly replies that Jamal returned home because of an urgent matter. Vera isn't convinced. Sensing that something is terribly wrong, she tells her mother that she is going out for a walk. The moment Vera leaves, Yanti begins giving Dino a new haircut. She takes off his glasses, making him unable to see. She picks up scissors and damages Dino's eyes. Meanwhile, Vera visits Jamal but finds the doors locked. She then makes a phone call to him and hears his phone ringing in a nearby abandoned and ruined building. Upon reaching, she stumbles upon a horrific sight. All the men who once met Yanti are dead now. Among them is Jamal, who dared to expose jinn. Vera rushes back home only to discover an even more horrifying sight. Dino has been blinded by their evil mother. Soon, Yanti lunges at her at lightning speed. Moments later, Vera regains consciousness and finds herself tied to a chair while the room is lit with numerous candles. Nearby is Dino sharpening a knife on a whetstone. Before long, Yanti, under jinn's possession, arrives and explains to Vera that her mother has been nurturing them all life on her own. Jinn says that if it were him, her mother would have died a long time ago. Now is the time for repayment. Jinn tells Dino to come and kill Vera to show he really loves his mother. Dino approaches Vera and whispers into her ear that he is always by her side. He quietly snaps the rope and spins around to attack Jinn. Enraged, Yanti attacks him with a metal bowl, knocking him unconscious. After that, she lifts Vera into the air and pounds her on the dining table. She picks up the scissors and moves to cut her throat. Just then, Vera strokes her head, awakening her real mother within Jinn. There breaks out a struggle between Yanti and the Jinn within the body. To save her children, Yanti signals Vera to stab her with the scissors. With a heavy heart, Vera stabs the Jinn, killing her mother in the process too. Not long after, Yanti's spirit arrives and meets Vera one last time before disappearing. Hearing Vera's cry, Dino wakes up and finds his mother lying dead on the floor nearby. Suddenly, the movie shifts back to the beginning point, where Yanti had killed the cat. To Vera's question, why the cat killed its own kitten, Yanti told her that the cat killed the kitten because it was not hers.